According to the Bible, specifically the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, the young shepherd David killed the Philistine giant Goliath using a sling and a single stone. The sequence of events is described as follows. David, armed only with his staff, a sling, and 5 smooth stones he had picked up from a stream, went out to face the fully armed Goliath, who was challenging the Israelite army. David hurled one of the stones from his sling. The stone struck Goliath in the forehead and sank into it, causing the giant to fall to the ground. Since David did not have a sword, he ran over to the fallen Goliath, took Goliath's own sword, and used it to cut off his head. David's victory with simple weapons over the heavily armored champion is famously viewed as a triumph of faith and courage. Sources: If he couldn't lift the sword, how did he cut off his head? That is an excellent question that highlights a detail often overlooked in the story of David and Goliath found in 1 Samuel 17. The Bible explains the events in this sequence. David rejected Saul's armor and sword because he wasn't used to them. When King Saul offered David his own armor, sword, and helmet, David tried them on but said, "I cannot go in these, for I have not tested them." So he took them off and chose his own shepherd's equipment, staff, sling, and stones, instead. 1 Samuel 17 verses 38 to 40. The issue was unfamiliarity and lack of mobility, not necessarily a lack of physical strength to wield a sword in general. The sling killed Goliath. David struck Goliath with the stone from the sling, and the stone sank into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. 1 Samuel 17 verse 49. Most interpretations agree that the sling stone was the lethal blow. David used Goliath's own sword for decapitation. After Goliath was down, David ran to him, and took his sword and drew it out of its sheath and finished him, and cut off his head with it. 1 Samuel 17 verse 51. The key distinction is: he couldn't fight in Saul's armor and sword, due to being unaccustomed to them. He was strong enough to use Goliath's sword for the simple, single act of decapitation after the giant was already defeated and on the ground. While Goliath's sword was immense, implied by the size of the giant, David only needed to lift it and swing it once to complete the victory, a feat of strength and adrenaline that was manageable for him after the critical battle was won.